Across the grand chambers of the Galactic Council, tension shimmered like heat above molten metal. Hundreds of species filled the tiered arena, their eyes, lenses, and sensory stalks fixed upon the center platform. There, contained within a shimmering field, crouched the most feared life form ever recorded in the galaxy's annals, the Varnak. Its sleek obsidian hide glimmered with a strange iridescence, muscles coiled beneath skin that had resisted plasma fire and blade alike. Rows of teeth like serrated moons gleamed beneath its angular jaw. Even caged, its mere presence silenced a haul of thousands. It had taken 26 fleets to capture that one creature. 26 fleets of ships reduced to drifting husks by its kin before it was stunned and hauled into containment. The Council had brought it here as proof that all danger could be subdued beneath the united will of the galaxy. It was to be displayed as the ultimate victory of civilization over savagery. And then the human walked in. He was unarmored, unarmed, and very calm. His uniform bore only the simple insignia of Terran delegation. He moved like someone strolling into a park rather than stepping before a legend that had devoured battleships whole. Every alien delegate turned to stare at him. The chair of the council twitched its tendrils nervously. "Human representative," the chair rasped through a translator field, "you were not scheduled to attend this demonstration. The Varnak is not to be approached." The human gave a small nod, a faint smile. "I just wanted to see it for myself," the chamber whispered. Many species that had never agreed on anything before murmured in shared disbelief. The human walked closer until the security drones rose from their stations, weapons locking. The chair extended a warning tone. "Stop, you risk annihilation." But the human kept walking. He stopped a few paces from the containment field, tilting his head slightly as he observed the predator. The Varnak met his gaze with pupils like black suns. Its low growl rumbled through the air, shaking the floor. The drone's sensors flared red in alarm. The alien delegates recoiled instinctively, expecting blood. Instead, the human crouched. The Varnak's growl deepened, reverberating like thunder rolling through a cavern. The human said something, soft, almost a whisper. The translators struggled, unable to capture the quiet tone. The creature's body tensed, its claws flexing against the energy barrier. Then something impossible happened. The human raised his hand slowly and tapped the side of the barrier. "Let me in," he said. The chamber erupted. Dozens of representatives shouted warnings, invoking security protocols, demanding restraint. The chair shrieked orders at the drones to immobilize him. Yet before any action could be taken, the human's clearance signal overrode them all. The barrier shimmered and collapsed. The air seemed to freeze. The Varnak lunged. Gasps filled the hall. Weapons charged. Every sensor screamed imminent death. But instead of tearing him apart, the creature halted a mere breath from him. Its claws dug trenches in the floor. Its massive head lowered, nostrils flaring as it sniffed the human's outstretched hand. The silence stretched into infinity. Then the Varnak leaned forward, and the human scratched the side of its neck. A sound unlike any heard before rumbled from the monster's throat. Not a growl, but a low rhythmic purr. The delegates stared, minds blank with shock as the galaxy's fiercest predator, slayer of fleets, scourge of worlds, closed its eyes and leaned into the human's hand like an oversized domestic pet. The human chuckled quietly. "You're just misunderstood, aren't you?" The chair of the council could barely speak. "That creature annihilated colonies. It tore cruisers apart with its claws." The human looked up, still petting the beast. "That's because you frightened it. You hunted it without trying to understand what it was." The hall buzzed with disbelief. "Understand? That thing eats plasma-fed alloys." The human shrugged. "So do some Terran extremophiles. Doesn't make them evil." The creature rumbled again, pressing its head closer to the human's chest. Around the hall, cameras captured every moment. Within hours, the feed would circulate across thousands of worlds, showing a sight none would believe without proof. The most feared being in existence reduced to docile stillness under a human's touch. The council attempted to recover dignity. "Explain this," the chair demanded. "Explain why that thing does not kill you." The human took a step back and sat cross-legged beside the creature, which immediately curled protectively around him. "Because humanity grew up on a death world," he said quietly. "Everything on Earth either tried to kill us or eat us. So we learned to understand danger. Not just fight it, but read it, calm it, coexist with it. You see monsters. We see instincts. 1,000 lenses recorded the Varnak's golden eyes half-closing in comfort as the human rubbed along its jawline. The predator's tail flicked lazily like a satisfied feline. Every motion contradicted centuries of data that had labeled the species an unstoppable engine of destruction. The human continued. You've all studied it like a weapon. But to us, it acts like any territorial animal. It's just scared and lonely. The chair hesitated, its translator struggling to find words. Are you suggesting humans could tame them? The human smiled faintly. Not tame, communicate, there's a difference. Silence fell again, the weight of it bending the air. Even the drones hovered uncertainly as if confused by the absence of threat. The Varnak exhaled a slow, gusting breath that ruffled the human's hair. He looked up at the creature. You're magnificent, he murmured. The council watched as the human stood. The creature followed, towering over him, yet never showing aggression. With one calm gesture, he guided it back toward the containment area. It obeyed. When the barrier reactivated, it simply lay down, tail curling in satisfaction. The chair addressed the assembly, voice trembling. We have witnessed something beyond comprehension. The human species has displayed an ability to subdue, not through domination, but empathy. This changes everything, whispers spread like wildfire. Delegates began murmuring theories, chemical pheromones, hidden devices, telepathic implants. But no evidence supported any of them. Only one explanation remained, one none wished to accept, that humanity had achieved peace with the universe's ultimate predator through nothing more than calm courage and understanding. After the session adjourned, the human remained near the containment field. A few brave scientists approached, still shaken. How did you know it wouldn't kill you? He smiled gently. Didn't know. Just trusted the pattern. It reminded me of sharks back home. They look terrifying, but once you understand their cues, you realize they're not monsters. They're just alive. The researchers exchanged uncertain glances. The Varnak yawned, displaying teeth the length of swords, then rested its massive head near the transparent barrier, eyes fixed on the human like a loyal hound awaiting its keeper. News spread faster than light. Across the networks of the civilized galaxy, images and footage circulated, the small, unassuming human standing beside the most feared apex predator known, resting his hand against its armored skull. The reaction was immediate. Some species hailed humanity as saviors, beings capable of bridging the impossible gap between sentient and beast. Others whispered in fear, calling them sorcerers of chaos, creatures who could command the untamable. For the council, the revelation posed a dilemma. If humans could calm the Varnak, perhaps they could do the same with other lethal species. Some members saw opportunity. Alliances control peace through mutual understanding. Others saw threat, the possibility that humans could influence any living thing, even them. When the human returned to his vessel, reporters from 12 worlds awaited him. He offered no speeches. Sometimes, he said simply, you don't win by fighting. You win by listening. Back aboard the Terran ship, his team awaited with quiet awe. Through the viewport, they could see the Varnak enclosure in the distance, surrounded by patrol ships. You really just walked up to it, one whispered. You could have been vaporized, he shrugged. If you treat something like an enemy long enough, it becomes one. Someone had to show the galaxy that fear isn't the only response. Later, in the solitude of his quarters, he reviewed the footage himself. In every frame, the creature's posture shifted from hostility to calm the moment he crouched and softened his voice. It was subtle, primal communication, recognition of a kindred survivor. On Earth, humanity had endured millennia of predators, storms, poisons, and fire. Each generation had learned not to conquer nature, but to coexist with it, to find balance in its chaos. Perhaps the universe had forgotten that lesson. Perhaps it needed reminding. The following week, the council invited the Terran delegation to return. This time the hall was overflowing. Delegates who had once mocked humanity now leaned forward in anticipation. The chair addressed the crowd. We have arranged a further test. 2 more Varnak were brought in, untouched, furious, thrashing against their restraints. The atmosphere trembled with their roars. The human entered again, calm as ever. He requested the barriers be lowered. Protests erupted, but once more his clearance overrode all objections. As the energy fields fell, the 2 beasts lunged. The human didn't flinch. He raised his hands slowly, palms open. His voice carried, steady, rhythmic, almost soothing. The creatures skidded to a halt, confused. Step by step, he closed the distance until he stood between them. One snapped its jaws. The other rumbled deep in its chest. He whispered,